The unexpected visitor. The perpetual hum of machinery was Maya Carter's lullaby. In the dimly lit workshop of Outpost Epsilon 9, she worked her magic on everything from simple hydro wrenches to complex quantum drive cores. Located on the edge of the Sol system's territorial boundary, the outpost served as the last fueling station before ships ventured into the vast, unclaimed territories known as the Drift. Maya wiped grease from her hands with a rag that had seen better days, surveying her latest project, a battered atmospheric regulator that, by all accounts, should have been scrapped years ago. But that wasn't her way. In Maya's hands, broken things found new life. "Carter, you've got a customer," crackled the ancient intercom. The voice belonged to Russo, the station's harried administrator. "Priority docking. Some big shot from the Krillian Confederation. Sounds important." Maya sighed, tossing the rag onto her workbench. "On my way," she replied, not bothering to hide her annoyance. The Krillians were notorious for their superiority complex, especially when dealing with humans, whom they considered technologically primitive, despite humanity's rapid advancement into the galactic community. As she made her way to the docking bay, Maya observed the usual bustle of the station. Traders bartering over exotic wares, mercenaries recruiting for dangerous expeditions into the Drift, and the occasional scientist heading to remote research outposts. Epsilon 9 was a melting pot of species and professions, all united by their desire to escape the strict regulations of their respective homeworlds. The ship that greeted her at the docking bay was unlike anything she had seen before. Sleek, predatory lines with an iridescent hull that seemed to shift colors with each movement. It was unmistakably Krillian in design, but far more advanced than the vessels they typically allowed outsiders to see. The boarding ramp extended with a soft hiss, and a tall figure emerged. The alien stood nearly 7 feet tall, with silvery skin that reflected the bay's harsh lighting. 4 obsidian eyes blinked in rapid succession as they adjusted to the station's atmosphere. "I am Commander Xeric, Royal Fleet of the Krillian Confederation," the alien announced, voice modulator translating his complex language into crisp, accentless standard. "My vessel requires immediate attention." Maya crossed her arms. "I'm Maya Carter, station mechanic. What seems to be the problem, Commander?" Xeric's upper eyes narrowed slightly, a sign of annoyance in Krillian body language. "The quantum stabilizer has developed an unusual fluctuation pattern. Your station was the closest facility with repair capabilities." "You're a long way from Krillian space," Maya observed. "Unusual flight path for someone of your rank." "My mission parameters are classified," Xeric replied curtly. "Can you repair the stabilizer or not?" Maya approached the ship, running her hand along its hull. The metal felt warm to the touch, almost alive. "I'll need to see the damage before I can give you an answer. Quantum stabilizers aren't exactly off-the-shelf components." Xeric hesitated before gesturing toward the boarding ramp. "Very well. But touch nothing without permission." The ship's interior was even more impressive than its exterior, a testament to Krillian engineering excellence. Clean lines, efficient use of space, and technology that seemed almost magical in its sophistication. Maya followed Xeric to the engine room, where a holographic display showed the erratic energy patterns of the quantum stabilizer. "How long has it been fluctuating?" Maya asked, studying the readouts. "Approximately 12 standard hours," Xeric replied. "It began shortly after we passed through the Cygnus Nebula." Maya's eyes narrowed. The Cygnus Nebula was nowhere near any logical route from Krillian space to Epsilon 9. The commander was either lost or lying. "May I?" she asked, gesturing to the control panel. After a moment's hesitation, Xeric nodded. Maya's fingers danced across the interface, calling up diagnostic data and system logs. What she found made her breath catch. The quantum stabilizer wasn't malfunctioning. It had been sabotage. Subtle code insertions were causing the fluctuations, gradually pushing the system toward catastrophic failure. "Your stabilizer isn't broken," Maya said, turning to face Xeric. Someone's trying to make it fail. These code insertions are deliberate. Exeric's posture stiffened. That is impossible. No one but authorized personnel has access to the ship's systems. Well, someone did, Maya countered, pointing to the display. See these command signatures. They're masked, but they have a distinctive pattern. I've seen something similar before. The commander leaned closer, his 4 eyes focusing intently on the screen. How would a human mechanic on a backwater station recognize advanced Krillian code structures? Maya realized her mistake too late. Her knowledge of alien technology was far beyond what someone in her position should possess. I've worked on all sorts of ships, she said evasively. You pick things up. Exeric's upper eyes blinked rapidly, a sign of suspicion. Fix it, he ordered finally. I will compensate you appropriately. Maya nodded, already formulating a plan to neutralize the malicious code. As she worked, she couldn't help but notice Exeric watching her with increasing intensity. The sabotage was sophisticated, using techniques that shouldn't exist outside the highest levels of Krillian military technology. 3 hours later, Maya stepped back from the control panel. It's done. I've purged the malicious code and reinforced your system against similar attacks. You should be able to reach your destination without further issues. Impressive, Exeric observed. Most would have simply replaced the components. Your solution is more elegant. Replacement parts for Krillian vessels don't exactly grow on trees out here, Maya replied with a shrug. Sometimes you have to improvise. As they exited the ship, an alert sounded throughout the station. Russo's panicked voice came over the intercom. Unidentified vessel approaching. All personnel to emergency stations. Maya rushed to the nearest view screen. Exeric close behind. The image showed a massive warship dropping out of hyperspace, its design unmistakably Vordaxian, a species known for their aggressive expansion and technological piracy. They're after your ship, Maya said, turning to Exeric. The sabotage, the timing. It's too convenient. How would Vordaxians obtain Krillian sabotage codes? Exeric demanded, his voice modulator unable to hide his alarm. Maya's mind raced. Someone inside your government must be working with them. The sabotage was meant to disable your ship in deep space, where the Vordaxians could claim it was a rescue operation. The station shuddered as the Vordaxian vessel fired a warning shot. This is Captain Drylock of the Vordaxian Imperium, boomed a harsh voice over the station's comm system. Surrender the Krillian vessel and its occupant immediately, or face destruction. We need to leave, Maya said urgently. Your ship is what they want. My mission cannot fall into Vordaxian hands, Exeric stated grimly. The consequences would be severe. Maya made a quick decision. I have a personal ship in the auxiliary bay. It's not much to look at, but it's fast and has a few modifications the Vordaxians won't expect. Exeric studied her with all 4 eyes. Why would you help me? Because I don't like bullies, Maya replied. And because whatever you're carrying must be important if the Vordaxians are willing to attack a neutral station to get it. As they raced through the corridors, Maya's thoughts turned to the small ship waiting in the auxiliary bay. It had been her escape plan for years, a contingency she had hoped never to use. But now, her past was catching up to her in ways she hadn't anticipated. The auxiliary bay was deserted, emergency protocols having diverted personnel elsewhere. Maya's ship sat in a corner, an unassuming transport vessel that appeared decades out of date. Appearances, however, were deceiving. That is your ship? Exeric asked incredulously. It looks barely capable of atmospheric flight. Maya smiled for the first time since they'd met. Don't judge a book by its cover, Commander. She pressed her palm against the entry pad, and the ship's boarding ramp descended silently. The interior was a stark contrast to the exterior. Cutting-edge technology seamlessly integrated with customized systems, many of which weren't available on the open market. This vessel has been extensively modified, Exeric observed, his tone suggesting a newfound respect. Let's just say I had some free time on my hands, Maya replied, sliding into the pilot's seat. Her fingers danced across the controls, bringing the ship's systems online. Strap in. This might get rough. As Maya initiated launch sequences, the station's external cameras showed the Vordaxian warship moving into position to block their escape. They had minutes at most before being trapped. They're jamming standard communication frequencies, Zurich reported from the co-pilot's seat, and preparing to deploy boarding craft. Maya nodded grimly. They won't be expecting us to come out hot. She opened a secure channel. Russo, this is Carter. Emergency Protocol Omega-7. Authorization. Phoenix Red Tempest. There was a moment of silence before Russo's surprised voice responded. Carter, that code is understood. Omega-7 authorized. Suddenly, all lights in the docking bay shut down, plunging them into darkness. Emergency power redirected to Maya's ship, giving her full launch capability while the station's defense systems created a momentary blind spot in the Vordaxian sensors. Now or never, Maya muttered, engaging the engines. The ship shot from the bay like a bullet, accelerating at a rate that pushed them both back into their seats. The Vordaxian vessel, momentarily confused by conflicting sensor readings, fired too late. By the time they regained tracking capability, Maya had already executed a series of evasive maneuvers that no standard transport should have been capable of. Who are you really? Zurich asked as they cleared the immediate danger zone. No ordinary mechanic possesses these skills or this technology. Maya's eyes remained fixed on the controls as she plotted a course that would take them deeper into the drift. That's a long story, Commander. And I think we both have some explaining to do. Behind them, Epsilon 9 faded into the distance as the Vordaxian warship gave chase, determined not to lose their prize. But Maya knew these regions better than most, and she had a destination in mind, one that might finally force her to confront the truth she'd been running from for years. The truth about who she really was, and why half the galaxy seemed determined to either control or kill her. The legacy revealed. Maya's ship tore through the swirling gases of the Carina Nebula, pushing the engines beyond conventional safety parameters. The Vordaxian warship followed doggedly, though its larger mass made the pursuit increasingly difficult in the nebula's dense clouds. They're persistent, Maya muttered, executing another tight maneuver around a cluster of protostars. But they can't match our maneuverability in here. Exarch studied the sensor readings. Their weapon systems are still active despite the interference. Impressive engineering. There was reluctant admiration in his voice. Speaking of impressive engineering, Maya said, glancing sideways at her passenger, want to tell me what's in that secure case you brought aboard? The one you think I haven't noticed. Exarch's four eyes blinked in rapid succession, a Krillian expression of surprise. You are observant. I'm still alive. That requires observation. Maya adjusted their course, diving deeper into the nebula. What's so important that the Vordaxians would risk interstellar incident to get it? After a moment's hesitation, Zurich reached beneath his seat and retrieved a small metallic case. This contains the schematic for a new form of energy generation. If implemented, it would revolutionize power systems throughout known space, and make whoever controls it very wealthy and influential. Maya finished for him. Let me guess. Starforge Industries technology. Exarch's head snapped up. How could you possibly? A proximity alarm cut him off. The Vordaxian ship had launched smaller pursuit craft, designed specifically for navigating difficult terrain like the nebula. We need to move, Maya said grimly, pushing the engines even harder. There's a gravitational anomaly 2 parsecs from here. If we can reach it, we might lose them in the distortion field. This vessel cannot possibly withstand those gravitational forces, Exarch protested. Maya's lips curved into a knowing smile. You'd be surprised what this ship can handle. She activated a secondary control system hidden beneath the main console, engaging quantum shielding. Exarch's expression shifted to one of genuine shock. Quantum shielding is theoretical technology. Even the Krillian Science Academy has only produced limited prototypes. Theoretical for most, Maya agreed, guiding the ship toward the swirling vortex ahead. Practical for some. As they approached the gravitational anomaly, the ship's exterior began to glow with a faint blue luminescence, the quantum shield distributing the increasing gravitational stress across artificial subspace fields. The pursuing Vordaxian craft, lacking such protection, were forced to maintain distance or risk structural failure. Their caution gave Maya the opening she needed. "Hold on," she warned, before executing a maneuver that sent them plunging directly into the heart of the anomaly. For several terrifying moments, the ship bucked and shuddered as competing gravitational forces threatened to tear it apart. Then suddenly, they were through, emerging on the other side in a relatively empty region of space. "Coordinates set for the Alcyone system," Maya announced, programming the navigation computer. "We should be safe there temporarily. Alcyone is controlled by Starforge Industries," Kizarek noted, his suspicion evident. "How do you know they will grant us sanctuary?" Maya took a deep breath. The time for evasion was past. "Because Starforge Industries is my company. Or at least it was founded by my father." The silence that followed was profound. Kizarek's 4 eyes focused on her with an intensity that would have been uncomfortable even without the revelation. "You are Maya Reeve," he finally said, "the missing heir to the Starforge legacy." Maya nodded slowly. "I was born Maya Reeve. I've been Maya Carter for the past 7 years, ever since the accident that killed my father and supposedly me as well." "The galaxy believes you died in the Proxima Centauri disaster," Kizarek said. "A tragic loss that destabilized human expansion efforts for years." "That was the point," Maya replied bitterly. "With both Reeves dead, control of Starforge fell to the board of directors. And suddenly, our most revolutionary technologies were being licensed to organizations like the Vordaxian Imperium. The pieces were finally falling into place for Kizarek. You believe your father's death was orchestrated to gain control of Starforge's innovations." "I know it was," Maya corrected him. "I was supposed to die too. When I didn't, I decided to disappear until I could figure out who was behind it." She gestured to the ship around them. "This vessel contains technology my father developed but never released, including the quantum shielding and several other advancements the board doesn't know exist." "And my mission?" Kizarek asked. "How does it connect to your situation?" Maya pointed to the case. "That schematic you're carrying, it's incomplete. It's based on my father's research, but whoever recreated it missed crucial safety protocols. If built as designed, it would create a cascading reaction that could destroy entire star systems." Kaxarek's posture stiffened. "This was verified by our top scientists. They found no flaws." "Because they don't understand the underlying principles," Maya explained. "My father built failsafes into his designs that only he and I knew about. It was our private language, a way to ensure his work couldn't be weaponized." The ship's computer chimed, indicating their approach to the Alcyone system. Ahead, a massive space station came into view, a marvel of engineering that served as Starforge Industries' primary research and development facility. "What is your plan?" Kizarek asked. "You cannot simply reclaim your identity and company after 7 years." "I don't need to reclaim my identity," Maya replied, activating a secure communication channel. "I just need to prove what the board has been doing." The view screen flickered to life, revealing an elderly human with sharp eyes and a stern expression. He froze when he saw Maya. "Hello, Thaddeus," Maya said calmly. "It's been a while." "Maya Reeve." The man breathed, looking as though he'd seen a ghost. "You're alive." "No thanks to you and the rest of the board," she replied. "I'm docking at Research Platform Alpha in 20 minutes. Have Security Director Ishida meet me there." And only Ishida. Before the man could respond, Maya cut the transmission. "Thaddeus Blake," she explained to Kizarek. "My father's oldest friend and most trusted advisor. Also the first to sell out to the Vordaxians after our deaths." "You are walking into significant danger," Kizarek observed. The board will not surrender control easily. I'm counting on it, Maya replied grimly. The docking procedure was completed in tense silence. As promised, a single figure waited for them in the arrival bay, a compact Japanese woman in a crisp security uniform who broke into a rare smile at the sight of Maya. Took you long enough. Maya-chan, the woman said. 7 years is a hell of a vacation. Good to see you too, Ki, Maya replied, embracing the security director. Sorry for the disappearing act. Justified, considering the circumstances. Ki's eyes shifted to Xeric. The Krillian commander is unexpected. Commander Xeric has been unwittingly carrying a sabotage Starforge design, Maya explained, one that would have catastrophic consequences if implemented. Ki nodded grimly. The board has called an emergency meeting. They're claiming a security breach. What they don't know is that I've been collecting evidence since you disappeared. Evidence of what precisely? Xeric asked. Technological sabotage, corporate espionage, and the assassination of Alexander Reeve, Kay replied. The board has been selling modified Starforge technology to various factions, including the Vordaxians, knowing the designs were fundamentally flawed. Creating dependencies on Starforge for repairs and updates, Maya concluded, and positioning Earth as the technological center of the galaxy by ensuring no one else could fully replicate our advancements. They made their way through the station, eventually reaching the executive level where the board meeting was in progress. Maya paused outside the massive doors, suddenly hesitant. 7 years, she murmured. 7 years hiding on that station, fixing ships and pretending to be nothing special. You maintained your cover admirably, Xeric offered. Even I did not suspect until we escaped together. Maya took a deep breath. Let's finish this. The doors slid open, revealing a long table surrounded by surprised executives. At the head sat Thaddeus Blake, his expression a carefully controlled mask of shock and calculation. Maya, he began, rising to his feet. This is a miracle. We all thought. Save it, Thaddeus. Maya interrupted. I know what you did. I know what all of you did. You have no idea what you're talking about, one of the other board members protested. You disappeared for 7 years, and now you think you can just walk in and make accusations. I have more than accusations, Maya replied, nodding to Ki, who activated a holographic display in the center of the table. I have evidence, records of the sabotage technologies you've been selling. Proof of the funds diverted to hire the assassins who killed my father and tried to kill me. The display showed document after document, financial records and communication logs that painted a damning picture of conspiracy and murder. The board members looked at each other in growing panic. You don't understand, Thaddeus said desperately. The technological advantage was crucial for humanity's position in the galactic community. Your father wanted to share everything openly. It would have left us vulnerable. So you killed him? Maya asked incredulously. You murdered the most brilliant mind of our generation because he believed in cooperation rather than exploitation. It was necessary, Thaddeus insisted. The Vordaxians, the Krillians, they all seek to dominate. We needed leverage. Xeric stepped forward. The Krillian Confederation sent me to investigate rumors of sabotage technology. The recent failures of Starforge systems on multiple worlds have cost thousands of lives. Lives you deemed acceptable losses, Maya added bitterly. But it ends today. Security officers entered the room, responding to Ki's signal. One by one, the board members were escorted out, their access to Starforge systems already revoked. What happens now? Xeric asked as the room emptied. Maya walked to the window overlooking the vast research complex. Now I finish what my father started. Starforge will release the correct designs, freely and openly. The quantum reactor, the shield technology, all of it. That would dramatically alter the balance of power throughout known space, Xeric observed. It will create a new balance, Maya corrected, one based on cooperation rather than exploitation. My father believed that technological advancement shouldn't be hoarded, that it could be the foundation for lasting peace between species. The Krillian Confederation would be interested in discussing such an approach, Xeric said carefully, particularly given the alternatives. Maya turned to face him. Commander, I believe this is the beginning of a very productive relationship. In the days that followed, Maya Reeve officially reclaimed her position as CEO of Starforge Industries. The announcement sent shockwaves through the galaxy, particularly when it was accompanied by the release of comprehensive technical data for dozens of revolutionary technologies. The Vordaxian Imperium, deprived of their strategy of technological piracy, found themselves forced to negotiate. The Krillian Confederation, with Commander Xeric as their representative, signed the first of many cooperative research agreements with Starforge. And Maya, who had spent 7 years hiding her brilliance in the shadows of a remote space station, finally stepped into the light, not just as the heir to the Starforge legacy, but as an architect of a new galactic order. One built not on competition and sabotage, but on the simple human principle that progress should benefit everyone, not just those with the power to control it. In the end, it wasn't advanced technology that changed the course of galactic history. It was the human behind it who refused to let power corrupt her vision of what the future could be.